As a woman who stayed in a situation when she should have left, my only advice to any woman is lead the first red flag. Lead the first time. If you lead the first time, you're setting the standard for yourself. Yes, you may be lonely, yeah. But guess what? Ain't nobody playing in your face either.
This is a lesson a lot of women learn the hard way. The first time someone disrespects you, the first time something feels off, the first time your gut tells you that something isn't right, that moment matters more than we realize, because what we ignore the first time usually doesn't disappear. It becomes a pattern. And sometimes we stay hoping things will change, hoping we misunderstood, hoping love will somehow fix it. But a lot of us eventually realize something important. The first red flag was the warning we should have listened to.
Your next relationship? Leave the first time. The first time they cheat. The first time they name call. That shit's not allowed. The first time you seem unhappy. The first time you seem unappreciated. The first time you seem unwanted. Leave. And don't try to fix it. Don't waste your time in a relationship that doesn't even feel like a relationship. Because trust me, if it's already happening once, you're damn right it's gonna happen again.
Very recently, my soon-to-be ex-husband, in a fit of rage, during a confrontation or argument that him and I were having, called me the C word. It kind of made me circle back to when the first time it was that he called me that name. And it was 15 years ago. You've been married for 18 years. It was 15 years ago. He did it while he was drunk. He had come home from his deployment in Iraq, binge drinking, angry, going through a lot mentally, as you can imagine. I remember he called me that name while we were in my daughter's room, and I was trying to get him to not pick her up because he had come home from drinking, was in her room to try to pick her up, and I was trying to stop him to get him to leave her alone and just go sleep it off. And then he called me that name. I forgave him. I forgave him because he was drunk, because he was going through these mental health struggles. He had just come home from a deployment. He was definitely struggling, and I loved him. I had just had our daughter a year before. Well, not a year before. I actually had her 2 months after he deployed, so on my own. But we had this new baby. It was the three of us. We were a family. We had only been married 3 years, and I wanted it to work. And I thought being forgiving and understanding and supportive and giving him grace was the right thing to do, the loving thing to do. And I thought it's just a one-off. If he wasn't drunk, he wasn't going through the shit that he was going through, if he hadn't been deployed, he would never have talked to me that way or treated me that way. And I was wrong. Grasp at the time was that forgiving and understanding that type of disrespect was ensuring that it was going to happen again. It was guaranteeing that it was going to happen again, and it did. He never said that specific word, but he said a lot of other things, a lot of horrible things to me over the years, over and over and over again. And every time I made an excuse, I gave him grace, I forgave, I understood. And I started realizing this is going to be my life. This is going to be my life for the rest of my life. It'll never stop. It'll never end. It'll never be fixed. Nothing will change. I can't change it. He obviously doesn't want to change. And if I stay in this marriage, this will be my life for the rest of my life. I stayed for 15 more years and put up with it for 15 more years before I finally said enough. And even now that I'm trying to get away from him and I'm stuck in the house with him and I'm going through everything I'm going through right now, I'm still dealing with it. And I'll probably deal with it for the rest of my life, to be honest. Not in a house with him, but because I have kids with him. The first time they disrespect you, the first time they call you out your name, the first time they mistreat you, you have to leave. Because it will never stop. It will never stop. It won't. That will be your life for the rest of your life. The first time, you have to leave. You have to leave. No grace, no forgiveness, no understanding. Just leave.
Hey, when they say leave after the first time somebody do some shit, go ahead and listen, bruh. Because you're going to hurt yourself trying to fix something that don't want to be fixed. So it's just best for you to get the fuck out early as possible while you can, bro. I'm telling you. It's gonna hurt for a little bit, but you'll be all right.
I have a genuine question for you. How many times do you need someone to show you they don't want to be with you before you believe them? Because one time should be enough for you to walk away. And you're probably embarrassing yourself by begging for them and crossing your own boundaries and losing yourself and not realizing who you are anymore because you are putting them above you. And even after all of that, I know this is hard to hear, they still will not choose you. All you're doing is delaying the inevitable. You're trying to prevent them from leaving. You're trying to keep them. You think that you can hold them hostage, and you can't. You are just going to waste your time and waste your life. I promise you that you'll get past it and you'll learn a lesson that you needed to learn, but you will still have moments when you look back and you go, oh my God, I wish I did not stay. I wish I left sooner. I wish I didn't waste all of that time. And you will cringe thinking about all of the boundaries that you let them cross. So I'm going to help you out, and I am going to say this. Do not wait for someone to tell you more than once that they don't want to be with you.
You get to a certain point where you have learned so much through like a lot of like betrayal, heartbreak experiences, things just not going the way, you know, you had hoped it would, just through life, right? Because we're constantly learning things through these experiences. If you are actually like learning and trying to be better and trying to heal, okay? And, you know, you get to a point in your healing journey where you have to stand behind all these things that you've learned, especially if you want to like be the highest version of yourself, be the best version of yourself. That's going to mean standing on fucking business, standing on your boundaries, okay? Not fucking folding, not letting shit slide, not making excuses for shit, not giving people the benefit of the doubt, not seeing the good in people. Like, you get to that point because of so much shit, and you're just like, okay, I'm not like, you're not dealing with it. And when you get to that point, I'm telling you, it is so fucking like, it's just so next level, and I can't explain it, but like when you're there, you just know, right? And the thing about people is they know exactly what the fuck they be doing. Like, they know what they're doing when they decide to do shit, knowing the type of person that you are, knowing how genuine you are, and knowing who you are as a person. Even if it's like still early on, they have an idea of the type of person that you are. Okay? They know what's like what hurt your feelings and what wouldn't hurt your feelings. When people actively choose to make decisions knowing how it will affect you, you have to leave the first time. You have to leave the first time. You know why? Because your whole life you have stayed, and you have thought that, you always thought, okay, if I stay, maybe they'll realize. If I stay, maybe they will get it together. And you just prolong the inevitable. And all you're doing is enabling their fucking disrespect. Like, they're gonna, if they like can get an inch, they're gonna take a fucking mile. If you give them an inch, they're gonna take a mile. And every inch that you fucking give them, the fucking more miles that they take. And it only hurts you in the end. You're prolonging a decision when you already know how it's gonna fucking play out. You've been down this road your entire life. You know how it goes. When you see red flags, when you see shit for what the fuck it is, leave. What do you have to stay for? For what? You see it, and you don't have to explain yourself, because like I said, people know what the fuck that they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to defend yourself. You don't have to send no fuck. For what? They understand your silence is a reflection of their behavior, okay? They understand that. They're just probably pissed that you caught on, and they can't take advantage of you longer than they wanted to. You know what I mean? I also really believe that two things can be like true at the same time. I believe that, you know, I feel like shit is actually that deep, right? Like, when people are like, it's not that deep, like, honestly, it is that deep. Like, it really is, though, because you know me, you know how I move, like, you know the type of person that I am. So to an extent, like, yeah, it is that deep. But then I also do agree with, it's not personal, right? Because the way someone treats you, it has nothing to do with you. It is literally a reflection of them. It's a reflection and a projection of the shit that they like haven't worked on, and the shit that they have not healed. So they're going to act out in their insecurities and in their whatever, right? I do believe that both of those things can be true at the same time. It's not personal, but it is that deep.
So you'll realize too, once you're healing, there are going to be like a lot of like contradicting factors with it. And because you're constantly like growing and elevating, you're shedding old versions of yourself constantly, right? Like the more you shift. So two things aren't always going to be true at the same time, because back then maybe it didn't mean the same thing it does now, you know? Like, it is that fucking deep, because what the fuck? But then also it's really not personal, because it's a them problem. You have to take yourself out of the equation and remove your energy. It will save you so much time. It will save you so much stress. I have spent my entire life basically giving people the benefit of the doubt, sticking it out, playing the long game, playing the waiting game. At what cost? Once I learn the lesson, and it's always the hard way, because that's the only way we learn, right? But once we learn it, and then we get the same type of shit comes back up, that shit comes back up for you to be able to like see, are you going to stand on business, on your boundaries, on your respect? Or are you going to continue to like let people just fucking slip and slide? Like, what? This is not a fucking circus. This is not a fucking circus. Let these people play these games with the people that are on their level. And I'm telling you, the more you set these boundaries and the more that you like respect yourself and you honor yourself, the more people have no choice but to treat you that way. The right people will do the necessary work if they care enough, if they want to like be in your life to whatever extent. They are going to take that and they're going to do the necessary work to be a better person, to meet you at your level. But don't wait for anyone. It's not like you can't, the expectation of it, you have to just remove that completely. You know, you get to that point where you just have to remove the expectation and just allow shit to just flow and be what it is. But you have to leave the first time. You staying does not teach them anything. People only learn through consequence. If you keep enabling certain behaviors, they're going to continue to treat you that way. You can't expect people to treat you better and you're settling for bullshit. You don't even treat yourself better. Why would they treat you better? And it's hard to hear, I know, and I'm not trying to be rude, but like, we just have to wake the fuck up. Like, we can't sit here and be like, well, I don't know why they treat me like this, and I don't know why this keeps happening to me. Well, because you keep fucking allowing it. Stop allowing it. Like, just the second you stop allowing it is the second people will learn you are not the one to fuck with at all. Like, they can do that shit over there. Let them. The right people will meet you where you are at, or put in the necessary work to get there. It's not difficult. It's not rocket science. Once you realize and you've learned these lessons, stop fucking prolonging shit. You already know what to do. It starts with you. It starts with you. And then the rest just flows. And you're going to just attract more like valuable, just like authentic people. You're going to attract shit that actually is like worth your fucking time. You know what I mean? It's just like, you're having to teach people because someone had to teach me at one point. You know what I mean? Like, it's not about being rude or anything. It's just about like being respectful and like having fucking boundaries and having respect for yourself. If you love yourself enough, don't tolerate certain shit. And if you see yourself continuing to tolerate shit, why don't you love yourself enough to feel like you have to put up with that? Go inside, deep in, and figure out, why are you letting shit just like, why are you letting people treat you any kind of way? I had to do it too. Everybody has to do it. Everybody has to do it. But if everybody keeps allowing all these people to play in their fucking face, you're going to be surrounded with a bunch of people that want to play in people's fucking face. This is why I don't like hang around people. This is why I don't go out. This is why I don't deal with people like that. Because the people that I do allow in my energy, they end up having to see, because I, like the type of person I am, the energy that I have, it's going to reveal like their insecurities and their shadows. It's inevitable. That's just that's the type of energy that I have. It's inevitable, right? So when the shadows get revealed, it's just, you know, it's a matter of, okay, time to remove access. If it's disrespectful or whatever, you know, depends on the circumstance. But you just have to know who you are. You have to know your worth. You have to love yourself, and you have to stop tolerating bullshit. If you stop tolerating bullshit, you won't continue to get bullshit. Okay? I love you, but I really need us to lock the fuck in, because like 2025 is like the year for like clarity. Like, we're learning so much this year. I'm so grateful for this year. Even though it's been painful, all these things that I've learned, like, I'm applying everything now and like for the rest of my fucking life. 2026 is fucking up. It's actually up right the fuck now. But like, this was like the trial period of like just learning the hard shit and like really figuring like yourself out. And like, after this, that's it. It's up. Nothing will stop you. Nothing will get in your way. And I love you guys so much. I want you to just love yourselves so much that you just don't deal with bullshit. The longer you stay, the more you pay. Energy is currency. Okay? You're expensive. You're valuable. You are fucking like upper echelon, top fucking tier. Act like you know who the fuck you are. Please stop letting these people play in your fucking face. It's ridiculous.
I think that one of the most important skills you can learn in life is how to walk away the first time. Not after you've cried, over-explained, and begged, but the first time that someone shows you any type of inconsistency, disrespect, or chaos, that is your answer. And staying past that point only teaches people that your boundaries are flexible. So the sooner that you learn this, the more peaceful your life will be. Less chaos, less heartbreak, and less time wasted on something that probably wasn't meant to be anyways.
Woman to woman, leave the first time. Leave the first time you find messages in his phone and you feel sick. Leave the first time he tells you he's going to a group dinner and then you find out that it's just him and that coworker that he hates so much. Why? Because it wasn't the first time and it certainly won't be the last. Don't believe me? When was the last time you did something for the first time and you only ever did it once? And no, I'm not talking about skydiving or bungee jumping. Really think about that, because I was talking about this in a session where my client said, my partner recently cheated on me and I want to know what I'm in for if I stay. And as a dating strategist who's seen this pattern over and over again, this is exactly what happens. And I want you to read the comment section of every person telling you just how accurate this is. The first thing that happens is you start living a double life, because either you tell your friends and family, they urge you to leave, and then when you stay, you certainly can't bring them around your friends and family anymore, because if you did, they would be on the 6 p.m. news. Or you decide that you're not going to tell anybody. It's just going to be between the two of you. You still smile for your couple photos, but your entire life feels like a lie, because everybody else thinks you're happy, but only you know the truth about your relationship. You could have the most amazing day together. You could laugh, you could hold hands, but then on the drive home, when you're at that stoplight, you remember, if I didn't find out, he still wouldn't have told me. And then it hits you again, like a ton of bricks. So then you start coping. You might start emotionally eating. You might start having another glass of wine at dinner. You can't even be alone with your own thoughts anymore. You can't meditate. You can't go to yoga, because you just want to avoid thinking about just how painful this situation is. And even when things are good, your brain is constantly scanning for threats, wondering, what is he gonna do next to break my heart? Because your relationship is forever tainted by his lack of discipline. And that's not a way to live, which is why I tell you, leave the first time.
If there's one thing many of us wish we had learned sooner, it's that the first moment of disrespect is often the most important one. Your intuition is there for a reason. And sometimes the strongest thing you can do for yourself is walk away the first time something doesn't sit right with your spirit. Thank you for watching and holding space for these conversations. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.